Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen, episode 5 of Painted Blue. I'm your host, Brandon Peddle. I don't know why I'm a host. It's more of a vlog, video blog. But whatever. I'm the guy. I'm the one to sit here and bitch and criticize and yell, just lose my mind over the Toronto Maple Leafs, game in and game out. But I'm your guy. And first off, I want to apologize for the swear jar episode that you guys saw last time. Not my proudest moment, but when your team struggles and loses 2 or 3 games in a row in very poor fashion, it kind of sets a bad tone with you. It doesn't sit well. And when you're as passionate a fan as myself, that's what you're going to get. But guess what? Today, that's not going to happen. Today marked the anniversary of the first Toronto Maple Leafs, well, rather, Toronto Arenas hockey game. I don't know why I'm holding this mic. It's not even hooked up, but I think it's more just for me. Someone forgot to throw in the audio cable so I could hook it up to channel 1. So we're going off an external mic right at the top of the camera there. So hopefully you can hear me decent. So I know it's going to be kind of funny looking at the microphone the whole time. But it helps keep me in place. It helps give me some structure for the shoot. And yeah, so here we go. I hope a lot of you guys got to see the game today. That's right, 2 p.m. start. You might be wondering why the hell would they start a hockey game like that? We're at work, or we're at school, or we have our regular daily routine to go through. Whether it's dealing with kids or running some errands. Sorry, I got a lip ring issue right now. Technical issue. Pop that sucker out right there. But yeah, the reason behind that is to the day and to that exact time. That was 100 years ago to the date that the Toronto Arenas took to the ice for a 2 o'clock matinee game versus the Montreal Wanderers. That game was quite crazy. Going into the second period, the Toronto Arenas were down 5-0. So yeah, it wasn't getting their name out there in a good way. But the game final score ended 10-9. I know it's not exactly a Vezina-like showdown for the goaltenders, but hey, that had to be one hell of a game, right? And pretty entertaining. And today's game, it was much of the same, at least in terms of entertainment. It was a bit of goaltender showdown. Scott Darling started off a little shaky. Let in a few goals he'd rather take a mulligan on, but nonetheless, the young man, he stood tall for the Carolina Hurricanes for quite a decent amount of time within today's game, and was blistered with so many great opportunities by the Toronto Maple Leafs. And that being said, Frederik Andersen wasn't left, unpeppered. The guy made some 10 Beller saves, like incredible saves. Johnny Bower type saves, or at least one Johnny Bower type save. Incredible. Down on his back, looking like it was an easy empty net goal for the Carolina player. I can't remember which one it was. If it was, I think it may have been Falk. But yeah, either way, whoever it was, that doesn't really matter. Freddie shut the door. He slammed the paddle down on the ice. And thankfully, the Carolina player didn't get it up. And yeah, end result, an incredible save. Frederik Andersen made 30-plus saves yet again. That's a trend I would rather the defense clean up a little bit and get on top of that more. It's not every day you want your goaltender to face 33, 35, anywhere upwards to 40 shots. It's not ideal, but with the defensive core like the Toronto Maple Leafs, they're still learning. They're still going through growing pains. That can be said with the offense as well. So it's going to take some time, and you got to remember you're missing some core players out of that group. Zaitsev went down recently, had to be put on the injured reserve list, so that sucks. The young man was tearing it up. He's making great passes out of the zone. He was doing fantastic on the penalty kill. He was doing the right things. He was having a much better year thus far, playing more quiet but in a good way. And even throwing in a goal here and there as well. So he's definitely going to be missed, and hopefully he's not out much longer. That goes for Austin Matthews as well. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, I mean, Austin Matthews, so the team is now, they were 5-0 without Matthews at one point, believe it or not. Went to 5-3 because they lost 3 straight games until today's 8-1 trouncing of the Carolina Hurricanes. That's right. The 100th anniversary game, the boys came up fucking huge. The Air Canada Center was rocking. Pardon me, got some issues going on right now. But yeah, the ACC was rocking. The fans were loving it. All the new generation of fans as well for the new generation game or next generation game, whatever they called it. But yeah, either way, I mean, the building was shaking. The crowd was loving every minute of it. And the Leafs gave them one to remember. Makes this amateur broadcaster wish he would have punnied up the money and went to the game. But nonetheless, I'm not gonna lie. I missed a radio show today in class because of the game. But you know, I still handed in my script. I still contributed to the show, and I hope for all my classmates, all my colleagues that show went really well. I'm gonna check it out in a little while on riotradio.ca. But yeah, I mean, I can't help it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a hockey addict. I'm a Toronto Maple Leafs fanatic, and I have to see games like that. I mean, it's not just a regular game. It's a game where they're wearing the beautiful sweaters with the T in the center. Arenas going from one side to the other of the T, centered nicely. Some white lines going down each sleeve, and yeah, I mean, not everybody loves them, and some would consider them to be less appealing than last year's Toronto St. Pat's jerseys. And I think I'd agree with the St. Pat ones. I mean, yeah, it's green and white, but they were so sharp. And for me personally, I love the Toronto Arena sweaters. So, Santa, if you're watching the show, please give me a Toronto Arenas jersey for Christmas. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, anyhow, I mean, you can wish. You know, beggars can't be choosers, but we'll see what happens. Been a good boy overall. I'm sure I've been good enough, I think. So, either way, we're getting off track a little bit here. But yeah, I mean, an incredible game. It saw JVR score the team's, the franchise's 20,000th goal of franchise of all time for franchise history for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Toronto Arena, like the entire franchise, right from the beginning. The 20,000th goal. My goodness, that's a mouthful there. I think I need a little water on that one. But yeah, anyways, 20,000 goals. That's incredible when you sit down and think that's a lot of goals. I would love to see a tape of every single goal that they've gotten, and take a while, but if there was video available for all of them, which I know there isn't, but I mean, whatever. That's not what's important right now. Like, yeah, the mark is important, but I mean, seeing every single goal, I don't have to. It's just a fixation of mine, and I love the history of the Toronto Maple Leafs. I love the history of the original six, the NHL, all of it. I mean, I'm all about how we got here today, how each team has fought many hard battles, and some teams have come and gone in the past 100 years, but there's been some that you can't get rid of. Like, I mean, whether it's the Detroit Red Wings, Boston Bruins, New York Rangers, Chicago Blackhawks, Montreal Canadiens, whoever. Like, I mean, any of the original six, they're all still here. They're fighting. You know, I mean, each day they're they have a solid fan base, I'd say. So, I mean, Chicago Blackhawks aren't exactly lighting it up this year, but I mean, it's fair to say like they've won 5 or 6 straight now, so that's pretty impressive. Finally getting their season on track. I feel the goaltending's been very dependable all season, and yeah. Anyways, let's roll that back and let's go back to the Toronto Arenas game today at 2 p.m. It was a thriller. I had to record it for my dad, and I hope he enjoyed it. I kind of spoiled it for him. I texted him like crazy every time the Toronto Maple Leafs scored. I was going nuts and loving every minute of it. And you know, I said to him, you know, Dad, I'm sorry I kind of spoiled the outcome for you, and I kind of spoiled the excitement of the goals. But like I can't help it. It's very exciting. It's a fantastic game so far. He said, yeah. I said, that's okay. And, you know, he was happy to hear that they were doing really well. The team's been a bit of a scoring slump lately, and been relying on Freddie Anderson far too heavily. And that in terms of not scoring and in terms of defensive turnovers, things they can't keep doing. But yeah, I mean, as you saw today, the offense is still there. It's still alive. It's just it depends if they can find the right mix, get the right lines together, and no doubt when Austin Matthews gets back, that's going to help. But I mean, they got to keep in mind this young man and potentially future captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. When he gets back, he's going to need a little time to settle back in, settle into the routine a little bit, get the feel back for the game, for the stick handling, the speed. He's a finesse type player. He's a fantastic stick handler, a very hard worker, and he's very hard to get off the puck when he's on his game. So, I mean, whether it was him being hurt last game he played and stuff like that, why he struggled, but whatever the case, I mean, take your time, Austin. Make sure you're coming back healthy. We don't want you to come back early and risk further injury or re-aggravating that injury, anything like that. It's not worth it. The team will somehow push through in the meantime while you're recovering and, you know, trying to get back into game shape. So take your time, do what you gotta do, and we'll see you back on the ice. Hopefully sooner than later. The Buds need you, but for now, Toronto Maple Leafs just need to stick to the game plan and come in every night thinking that they're going to win that game and go out there and do their best to do that. So I mean, today 8-1, that was a great start, and hopefully the beginning of a season-long winning streak. I mean, that's the ideal outcome you want. And most of their next bunch of their next handful of games are on the road, so yeah, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, they've been pretty good, a pretty good road team so far this season. So we'll see how that pans out. They're playing Columbus tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, I believe. We'll see how that goes. So hopefully, fingers crossed, and carry the momentum of today. And I'm hoping they didn't run out of goals. So we'll see what happened. I'm just going to take a quick look at my trusty gamepad here. Not really a gamepad, but tablet. But this is how I keep track of all my sports-related knowledge that I don't have up here yet, or I want to keep up to date on the standings because they change every day. Every time there's a game, your standings are going to change. The points are changing, goal differential, like all the stats. So I mean, anytime you want to keep up on it, I mean, especially with someone like me, I'm doing this show. You try to stay relevant. You try to be correct on what you're saying. You don't want to sit there and, you know, spill your guts and everything you're saying end up being false. That's not how you want it. But yeah, let's just see here. We're going to take a little quick trip to Google. That's right. You got to fill time somehow. So this is part of how I'm going to fill time for the show. I'm a little tired, and truth be told, my niece is waiting to watch a Christmas movie with me, and I fucking love watching Christmas movies. No, I'm not going to swear with her here, but she's upstairs with my mom right now, so I can get away with a little mouthiness right now. So anyhow, NHL standings. Let's go to NHL.com. But yeah, the Hurricanes. it was very nice. I'm not gonna lie. I was really nervous that the Leafs would come out, that they may come out with a dud today. I wasn't thinking they would. I just, in the back of your head, you're thinking, okay, Toronto Maple Leafs always struggle with the Carolina Hurricanes. Even when they beat them, it's usually not by a large margin. So we'll see what's going on here. So we're in the conference. Eastern Conference standings, Tampa Bay, 50 points. I know, they don't seem to lose. Like, it's just, they're a team that doesn't back off. And it's quite annoying. I mean, behind them, you have a few guys jumped us, 45 points, Washington Capitals. I don't know where they came from. They've turned on the heat, and they've been flying up the standings the past month, just collecting wins front, left, and center. And yeah, they're ahead of the Toronto Maple Leafs by 2 points right now, and Toronto is tied with New Jersey in points, but we're technically behind them with I guess wins, whatever, right? Games played. We've played 2 more games than New Jersey Devils, so I mean that's why we're behind technically. Whatever. We're only 2 points out of second, so I can live with that. I mean, especially considering how rough how sloppy and not impressive the Leafs have been lately until today's affair with the Hurricanes. I mean, the 3 games before that, they didn't look very good. There didn't appear to be a lot of chemistry. There were quite a few one-man efforts that didn't really pan out for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And unfortunately, Anderson didn't pick up the wins that he should have. His team weren't prepared to, you know what I mean? I don't know if I say weren't prepared, but they didn't come with their best in those 3 games, and that's a big reason they lost. So, I mean, you can't put it on the goalie. It's not, most of the time it's not his fault. If you have a bona fide number 1 goaltender on your team, and if they're losing game after game after game, unless the numbers tell you otherwise and there's other inclinations for that to support it, then chances are it's not the goaltender's fault. I mean, look at the years in Edmonton. There's so many goalies got blistered, and look at poor Devin Dubnyk. Thank God he got out of Edmonton. He's, you know, I mean, I'm sure he's super thankful for that. He's with the Minnesota Wild now, a great up and coming team, and he's been killing it for them ever since. He's on the injured reserve right now, but hopefully he'll be back soon. And yeah, I mean, that was a case of the team letting him down on a nightly basis. The defense was atrocious, and I mean, even this season so far, the Edmonton Oilers have been back to that poor defensive play. But coming up soon, I mean, they have Andre Sekera. He's coming up. Adam Larson, I believe, is back in the lineup. So I mean, there are some positives to look at, and they've won like 2 of the last 3 games or something like that. So I mean, they're trending upward a little bit. It's just they have a lot of ground to cover. So if they want any chance to get into the playoffs, I'm not going to say they're down and out, because I don't believe that. I mean, there's so much talent on that roster. I mean, you have the captain at the helm for the Edmonton Oilers, Connor McDavid. I'm not going to lie, he's not my favorite player, but he's fantastic. He's definitely one of the best in the league. I don't think many people can argue that. You look at Sidney Crosby, Alex Ovechkin, Connor McDavid, Austin Matthews, Patrick Laine. Like, I mean, the list goes on. Patrick Kane. Like, there's so many great goal scorers and natural-born goal scorers, and just overall standouts on their respective teams. So McDavid's one of them. So you can't really deny that. I'm not denying that, but doesn't mean I have to love the guy. But I respect him. I respect what he does and what he offers, what he brings to the table for the Oilers. But as you can see right now, it's not a one-man show. It takes a team to win, and it takes a team to win consistently. So keep that in mind. And yeah. So I mean, you look at Tampa Bay, 50 points. At the top of the conference, Washington behind them by 5 with 45 points. Pardon me. New Jersey, Toronto, both 43 points, 2 points out of second place, where Washington currently sits. And yeah, you have the Rangers behind a few points, 41. Columbus, 41 points. I mean, and then behind them, Boston, 39. New York Islanders, 39. So there's not a wide point spread between the top, like 6, 7. Sorry, top 6 or 7 teams, even as far as 8. I mean, even the Islanders, yeah, so 3, 6. I mean, the top 8 teams, there's not a huge amount. There's like 11 points separates them like from the top, from the 8th to the top. So I mean, that's not that bad. That's not that wide of a margin. It's a bit of a hill to climb if you want to get first, but I mean, those teams behind first place, especially the ones behind like second and stuff like that. Yeah, it's I mean, having those teams like Boston, New York Islanders, New York Rangers, Columbus, and so forth, and Boston, like I said, Pittsburgh. I mean, all those teams are kind of creeping up, and they're right behind you, right on your tail. So you can't really afford to go on a losing streak. And I mean, Leafs are very fortunate, like with the amount of games they've lost lately, and how poorly they've played over the past like 5-6 games. Like not including today, of course, because I mean it was a much better effort for the team, for the goal scoring especially, and defensively overall they were pretty good today. Some bad mistakes, but I mean that's going to happen. Some bumps in a row, but the ultimate thing is they got the win. Convincingly got the win. 8 goals. That's a nice way to break out of your goal drought. So I mean, hopefully that continues tomorrow night in Columbus, and we'll see. I mean, yeah, like there's lots of teams creeping up their rear. And then you go over to the West, and Nashville Predators are leading the West. And I personally didn't know that. I did not expect that. But, I mean, way to go. I mean, yeah, they were right there for Stanley Cup Finals, stuff like that. So, good on them. Yeah, they lost Stanley Cup Finals last season to Pittsburgh. St. Louis is tied with them, 46 points. So yeah, Tampa Bay's 50 points. They're the best in the league right now, and for a team that didn't do like dick all last year in terms of production and just they couldn't get it together, and lost to Stamkos proved to be too much for them last season. But yeah, I mean they're killing it this year. Give them credit. Fucking very impressive. Kucherov, all them over in Tampa, they're definitely getting done. Vasilevsky for his first year as a number 1 goaltender, he's doing a great job. And yeah, I mean, those are key ingredients for it. And you look here, you have, let's go from 1st to 8th. Nashville, 46. St. Louis, 46. Winnipeg, 45 points. Vegas, 44. Chicago, a bit behind, 39. And yeah, Minnesota, 39. Dallas, 39. San Jose, 38. Calgary, 37. Anaheim 36, Colorado 34, Vancouver 34, Edmonton 32. So I mean, it's not all lost. Yeah, you have Arizona 19 points, probably the worst in the league. Yep, they're the worst in the league. And then, but I mean, it's not all lost for Edmonton Oilers. If they can pick up steam now with their number 1 goaltender healthy and back into game shape hopefully soon, then you never know. I mean, they still have what it takes to make the playoffs. I'm not going to sit here and say they won't, because I know they have the talent. I know if they can come together over the next couple weeks, they could build quite a run, and they could be a scary team once again, as they were last season, right up until the playoffs. But you know, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes down. But yeah, those are the standings right now. Like I said, Chicago, I believe, worked themselves back into a playoff spot. A wild card spot, I believe. Yep, they're in the first wild card spot with 39. Minnesota's right behind them, second wild card with 39. That's in the Western Conference. Take a look at the Eastern Conference wild card. Begins with Columbus Blue Jackets, 41 points, followed by the New York Islanders, 39 points, and back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, Pittsburgh Penguins, sitting back with 37 points and not even in a playoff spot. I know, it's crazy. Hockey, baseball, whatever. It's so unpredictable at times. You can have teams so damn dominant throughout the past couple seasons, win back-to-back championships. And yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going to miss playoffs, but I mean, if they did, could you imagine the upset and the disappointment for the fans, for that matter? I don't think they're going to miss playoffs, Pittsburgh fans, so I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying it's weird that they're on the outside looking in right now. They're only 2 points out of the playoff spot, so obviously there's a lot of time, a lot of games left to be played, so I'm sure you'll see them in the playoffs again, but probably not first overall or like the top 3. I'd say probably in 4th or 5th place. We'll see how it goes. I mean, you know, if Matt Murray can stay healthy, and we'll go from there, right? We'll see how things go. They picked up a goaltender recently as well, so, or actually no, they were planning on picking up Mrazek, was it? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that was... Shit. Yeah. See? Looking foolish. Looking foolish. Pittsburgh. No, I don't know. That was someone else supposed to pick up Mrazek. But anyhow, that was Edmonton, I believe. My bad. I'm tired. Shouldn't do the show late. Yeah, whatever. We're going to end that on a high note. The Toronto Maple Leafs killed it today. 8-1 score. Goals from JVR, Tyler Bozak, Mitch Marner, Leo Komarov, Connor Carrick. That's 5. And who else scored for the Buds? Trying to think. Patrick Marleau, so that's 6. We're still missing a couple guys. Oh, not Sammy, sorry. Kasperi Kapanen chipping in with a goal as well, so that's 7. And one more, a young man has scored for Toronto Maple Leafs, and I cannot, for the life of me, think of who that was. I'm going to have to double check that. I know, looking like a dumbass right now, right? But whatever. Happens. We'll see. We'll head over to Game Center on NHL.com, get some stats, update my knowledge a little bit here. 11:58, yeah, almost 12 in the morning. A little late to be doing the show, but whatever. I like to get it done. It's not every show's been butter, but whatever. Not every show's been crisp either. Yeah, let's check it out for a second here. Tyler Bozak, blah, 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 blah. Oh, William Nylander with his 6th goal of the year. Connor Carrick's 2nd goal of the year. Kasperi Kapanen 2nd of the year. Patrick Marleau is 12th, pretty good. Bozak only 7th. Van Riemsdyk 16th, very impressive. Mitch Marner only his 3rd, and Leo Komarov only his 4th. So, I mean, yeah, there's room for improvement for a lot of those guys, but it's great to see them get on the board today and show up to play. Every player was important for the team today, and I think they really stepped up when they needed to. I'm just trying to find out where I lost my my trusty lit ring. Whatever. Find it after the show. Oh, found it. Anyways, but yeah, eight goals. I mean, Jeff Skinner added the lone tally. Deflection off of Ron Hainsey's heel or whatever it looked like off the leg. You know, that's all right. Freddie played fantastic. He was, just check out the highlights. I mean, if you don't think that's Johnny Bower-esque style goaltending, I don't know what is, but check it out. Pardon me, but yeah, fantastic. Great game, great goaltending by on both sides of the ice, I think. Scott Darling, yeah, you know, he let in a few he should have had, but overall the guy battled. He always does battle. Wasn't 100%, you know, wasn't 100% sharp tonight, but he did his best. He battled. He kept his guys in it for quite a while, so keeping it 4-1 for right up until the 3rd period when the Leafs broke it open. So good on you, Scott. Great effort, you know. They came off a big win against Columbus as well, the Carolina Hurricanes. And yeah, I mean, that's the team Toronto Maple Leafs play tomorrow. So hopefully we can follow in their footsteps, what they did to Columbus, jump on them quick and steal a big 2 points out of there. But yeah, hopefully we can win it and go Leafs go. I believe that's all we have. 43 points, the Buds, you know, tied for 3rd or in 4th technically because of games played. But yeah, whatever. Remember, stay tuned for episode 6 coming up next game, probably tomorrow night, if I remember to rent the camera that I'm speaking into right now. And hopefully they give me the right... Stop myself there. Give me the right equipment tomorrow. Don't forget any audio cords. I gotta check that myself. I keep forgetting. But yeah, I mean, anyways, you all have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. Sloppy show, but I sputtered through it. Yeah, anyways, keep your stick on the ice.